Hello and welcome back to Lorcana Villain. My name is Baker and today we're showing round 4 from the content creator Set Championship. If you haven't seen the previous videos, they will be linked down below, but if you have, you know the drill. Today's guest casters are going to be Pandemonium Heart, who you may recognize from a few weeks back. We did an interview with him all about Emerald Sapphire, the deck that I've been playing this event, very much one of the main inspirations for it, and someone that's going to be making their debut on the channel, Habbibi. These guys both play for the team ETB, Enter the Battlefield, and fun fact, the ICL, which is a third-party event organised by the wonderful Wizard of Lorcana Wonderland, where teams competed in a tournament over months and months, and my team, Villain Club, made it all the way to top 4, but were knocked out by the ETB team. And they went on to become the first ICL champions. I am super excited for them to cast this match, so we're going to get straight into it. A shout out to the channel sponsor, Cardmarket. If you're looking for Lorcana singles at competitive rates, then check out Cardmarket. But let's look at round 4.
Hello, I'm Joseph Quigley, aka Pandemonium Heart with Team Enter the Battlefield, and I'm here today with...
Lorcana Habibi, or Elias.
We're here invited by Lorcana Villain, the lovely Baker, to highlight and commentate over his set champ footage. He was piloting Green Blue, which I'm really happy about. It's a deck that's near and dear to my heart, a deck that I spent a lot of time building and developing as well. This set, I believe we're showcasing his round 4, a Green Blue mirror, which should be exciting. There's a lot of nuance. It's a lot of intrigue as far as the back and forth that can take place, and it's very interesting to see the dynamics of trying to keep your own singers on board versus opposing singers, kind of like the old Amber Steel Wheel days. Should be a lot of fun.
I love that analogy.
I'm trying to keep you into it, Habibi. So, the list here we have today is very close to the stock list I've been running, developing over the past several weeks. We have the Peakly, which I still like quite a bit. I like the double ramp it can offer you. We have 4 Hades going higher on the top end, ensuring we have lots of bombs going on this set. We do have the 2 Baymax to help with the aggressive matchups. It's not going to do too much in the mirror, but sometimes you get that shift Baymaxing under the sea on turn 3 and just wreck in the mirror occasionally as well. And we've just got a good consistent Clarabelle shift. The Donald as well, very typical to develops for more consistency. It's a very solid, well-rounded list. Habibi, how have you felt facing Green Blue this set?
A lot more comfortable when I know they're not on Baymax, and a lot more comfortable when I know they're on 3 Under the Seas. But I look at a list like this, and it's realistically, we call it mini game when we play against each other in our testing.
Oh yeah.
And I'm playing in a more aggressive deck, whether it be Amber Steel or Amber Emeralds Dogs. It very much is, oh, did I snipe your Under the Sea prior to you getting to play it? Did you have a vision and like you said, the bodies that were able to stick on board long enough to sing the Under the Sea? And it's very much set up and then blow up the board type of deck rather than a slowly gain value type of deck, at least from what I've seen. So as long as I can interrupt this deck's setup, I feel comfortable. But you guys have a lot of tools with Bobby, Clarabelle, 3-drop Clarabelle, Pleakley, Tipo, and a lot of things to interrupt. So I'm excited to see this gameplay and see how he managed to either do it or not successfully do it. Let's see which video it gave us.
That's definitely what you're looking to do in the mirror in a sense as well. Just kind of disrupt your opponent's bodies, keep them off the board as much as possible, and then keep your bodies on board questing so that you eventually just win or have the ability to sing that heads held high under sea combo. You want to deny your opponent Singer 6 as much as possible in the mid to late game so they can't get like reverse board wiped and have the tempo swing against you. Otherwise, you just want to control tempo as much as possible and go from there. All right, let's get into it. I'm just going to have this play through, and we're rolling. I believe his opponent is Jacob, if I recall correctly. I hope I got that one right. Let's see.
Jacob's
Baker rolls a
dead.
9. This is the most important amount of the game. Oh, Baker gets a die roll. That's massive in the mirror, of course. But I will say that being on the draw in the mirror, it doesn't feel, as like. I think there's good opportunity to win on the draw in the mirror, but you have to take the right lines. You have to be willing to do things like hard cast your welcome, and get the right spot, and find the opportunity where you get to sing, head tilt high under the sea to swing the mirror in your favor. So looking through the malls here, I can see Jacob's hand pretty well here. He has Big Clarabelle. He's on Kaida. That's actually really interesting in the mirror. Guess being able to have a guaranteed warded singer. Like, ward is really strong in general in the mirror, so that's going to be interesting. Looks like he's going to keep the shift line, which on the Jacob side, which I definitely agree with. Even if you don't have ramp, I want that shift line so desperately, I would keep that. Play or draw.
You gotta respect Jacob's ability to just be super calm and chill despite losing the dice roll. I'm a type of guy that would flip the table here and be like, oh my god, I'm cooked, even though I might not actually be cooked. So really calm, collected. Seems
Alright, start off with the one grab Clarabelle. I saw that Jacob's hand had much knows best, but we do have ramp. Alright. So his hand's shaping up very well. But Baker has the turn one.
Looks like he has it under the sea in his starting hand. How do you like that when that happens?
I don't love it, but if you can get, I don't know if he's on Baymax. If he's on Baymax, that could be like devastating if he pulls that combo off. But if you can get shift under the sea before they can shift, it's really strong. They both start with one grab Clarabelle, so if you want to be, we do have a sail, a nice shiny sail. It looks so pretty. Do we have another one grab or anything? No, but that's perfectly fine. Oh, and we do get a can cam. Oh no, Baker. Oh, that hand looks awful.
I always find that's a tell, like when the person that's I'm playing against just shows their hand to the camera, I'm like, oh, they're showing something extreme, so I know their hand's really bad or really good.
I guess. Yeah, so that hand does not have any plays except playing Baymax next turn. He really needed a Tipo to like maybe threaten the shift under the sea. Meanwhile, Jacob has seemingly a lot of options. He can go like Donald next turn. He can go into he does decide to quest, which I think is correct right now, because there's no improvise, but there is Baymax. I forgot. I should.
Yeah,
I think that was iffy because of the Baymax shift possibility. Improvise is gone, but shift Baymax is real, and if your opponent can shift Baymax, it's not ideal. So he does get punished there. He does have the Donald, but now he can't Clarabelle shift easily, which I think is a massive deal. And having to do Donald instead when, Baker is really bricked is like really good for Baker, because now he can be able to guess draw cards on his opponent's turn and hopefully get unbricked, where he has a much bigger body that obviously Donald can't swing into. That being said, Jacob does have. I love just. I love the Donald trigger and just being like, would you like to draw a card off Donald? And my opponent's like, yes, I love this.
Do you actually have to tell your opponent?
I think it's good etiquette because it's kind of like Daisy, where it's like a negative trigger, but it's not exactly like Daisy. I feel like you should. I think you guys should. Like, it's not quite like Diablo, where it's like their card. It's like my card giving you card. So I think you should inform your opponent of that. We do see the
That was a big Mother's Knows Best back at that Baymax.
Yeah.
This is what he wanted to do to catch back up.
Absolutely.
After that.
So now Jacob has the tempo in a big way here. He has 2 singers on board that can sing your welcome or whatever to potentially bounce anything that Baker throws down, and that's where you want to be in the mirror. It's also a lot of quest pressure, so he's in good shape. Don's going to keep drawing both of them a lot of cards, but it's not too bad. The Tipo is actually really good for Baker's side because it lets you obviously ramp and empty your hand so that Clarabelle is less of a threat. We are going to see a bend come down super early, but it rips a lot of gas. Hades under the sea. That's massive. It is a bit early. Jacob doesn't have like a lot of Jacob doesn't have a lot of. Ooh, Hades is huge too. So the bend on Jacob's side is a little bit early because he doesn't have a huge amount of a lead on board or a Clarabelle or something like that. So it is a little bit iffy, but I think it was fair enough. It's not as good with Donald on board, obviously, because Baker's still going to get an extra card each turn, but it works out. However, the Hades off the top immediately completely swings the tempo in Baker's favor.
If you wanted to draw anything off the top there, I think that's the card.
Big. That's
I'm going to do my first actual jump in of the episode because these guys are absolutely cooking. I don't think you need to hear much from me. But yeah, I just wanted to say, like, that bend to my will, I was like, oh my god, I've just lost my on the play game. He's got the board tempo, you've just discarded what was a super gas hand. Oh no. Hades off the top, bad gold.
Now, what's your thoughts
massive.
on what he chose to get rid of?
I think it's fair. Baker needs cards right now. Jacob already has a full grip, so the extra card for Baker is more valuable than the extra card for Jacob. So I think you're perfectly fine with that. You need some more gas. I think that's a very reasonable choice in this spot. Because right now Baker has like nothing. So like one Hades in the Hades, and like he's back to nothing. So he needs this Donald to draw him more bombs off the top, and hopefully more bombs than his opponent in this case.
Half-lumps is the card we chose to play.
Yeah, like very like not a great turn from Jacob's perspective in terms of what you want to be playing. Like you want to be dropping like a big bomb, like maybe a Clarabelle or a Hades or even a Basil to like maybe bounce a weenie. We do see him just going for quest pressure, which I like here. There's an argument for maybe like holding that card, but if he has to swing like all three bodies into this, you're pretty happy with it. Why don't like the Clarabelle can run a Clarabelle ship, which you don't love. Visions is really nice. But he only has, I believe, 6 ink to work with if he inks for turn. So it's not really that much that you can
Pause here. It's like this video is cut up and it's pretty. I think he just cut up all the dead time.
He did cut off all the dead time.
Yeah, which is great. What's your thoughts on Kita being in one list and not in the other, or as an inclusion in blue-green? Does you think it helps in the mirror? Do you think it's not helpful in the mirror?
I think it's good in the mirror because, again, a ward is really strong, and it's essentially going to stay there forever and be a thinger for your welcome or under this or much knows best. So I think it's okay. It's not a card that I love because I think it's a bit slow, especially into the aggressive decks like the steel decks that can like swing something into it really easily. But in the mirror, ward is very valuable, so I don't mind it in the mirror from that perspective.
That's fair. If we just had blue-green and Blurple on the top cuts, then
Kaida would be much better, yeah. But when you can have like a Calhoun take out that thing take out Kaida immediately doesn't feel good.
See pre-drop Clarabelle help him catch up here, kind of punishing the earlier bend and refilling Baker's hand to a point of he almost has as much cards as Jacob here. Yeah,
like having that's the thing about this mirror where the card draw can be so swingy. You kind of want to empty out your hand so that you can't get punished by like a Clarabelle or a bend and only keep a few cards in the hand. But the card advantage can swing so much because of Clarabelle that keeping cards in the hand is a little bit dangerous at times. And you can catch up really easily because of it in card advantage. So we are going to see a quest here, interestingly. I don't know if I love that. He's at 1 card in hand at this point. I may have liked to take out the Donald now that he has like a good wide board and like maybe force his opponent to have to hard cast Under the Sea instead of like sitting Under the Sea and developing something else. But I also understand he only has 1 card in hand, so he maybe needs a bit more gas. It's a close call. It's tough. But at this point, denying the Singer may have been more valuable than the extra card now that you have a wide board. And yeah, you're going to get punished hard by sitting Under the Sea, and he's going to get to develop. I do think swinging to Donald probably is a safer bet there, because then at least you have to hard cast it. But maybe his hand, if the last card in hand wasn't great, maybe you have to do it that way. And interesting. We also see the Lewis. Geico's got on a lot of interesting tech in this spell. Lewis is a card I'm very interested in at this moment in time. Habbibi and I both got back from a dog weekend, and I like this card to maybe fight dogs. And we have a Scrooge here that's really big. Geico has completely taken over tempo in this game now, and Baker's in a really tough spot.
So before we pass along to the other turn, what's your thoughts on ordering cards under the Sea, specifically in the mirror? I'm never making somebody in a Sea Dogs list. I'm never ordering their cards for them after I UTS them, because realistically, if we reach the bottom of my opponent's deck, I lost that game already, right?
So I think you should, because of cards like Visions. In a strict optimization perspective, it's correct. I will fully recognize I am sometimes lazy about it. But when you get to DLC season, don't be lazy about it. Order your opponent's cards.
Especially thinking back to Amber Steel, like I used to like always try to remember the bottom 12 cards. This is something that will dig a lot deeper than just aerials.
Yeah, you know, like some people might still tactic a little deeper, which is a tact that I'm kind of off right now, but it's still quite valid. So like you need to be a bit careful. We see Clarabelle come down, which does allow Baker to potentially claw back in this game, ink and draw a few cards. 1, 2, 3. So now he's actually like, this is the swinginess of the mirror where one Clarabelle can like immediately get you back at something resembling parity. So the big thing here is, can Baker find the combo of heads held high under the sea? He has discarded at least one under the sea, so it might be a bit tougher. But if one of these bodies can stick, namely the Clarabelle, he could be in good shape to recover from this game.
Of course.
So we are, of course, going to see a trade from Keiko's perspective. That makes sense. Then he really needs to try to go aggressive, especially if he doesn't have an answer to this Clarabelle. You know, Clarabelle did draw a lot, but it's not that likely she found the combo. So you might just bet on that quest and say, like, all right, it's going to be hard to answer a wide board unless you find exactly a specific 2-card combo. And that's exactly what he's doing here. I like that. Now, he has Mother Knows Best in hand. I think that's a huge mistake from Jacob.
Yeah, not bouncing that gives the potential for potentially a double combo with the heads held high and the under the sea. Given the board state, he can literally rock ass under the sea and do that. I think that's more than a happy play to make in this position.
Like even
so much punishes.
Yeah, like, and even in this position, like even if it gets regular under the sea, you know, you hard cast it, you swing into the Scrooge, maybe now you're like more or less even on board. I think there's no good reason not to bounce the Clarabelle here and force Baker to be much less off tempo. And then you have a wide board that you can't deal with, and you're crushing to 2, 4, 6, 7 to 8. Yeah, no, like I don't understand. I guess you have 2 less lords, you'd be at 9s, but even so, I think not doing that
this game isn't won by sneaking in a lore here and there. It's very much like somebody's a clear winner on the board when it happens.
Big swings. So you see Basil come down.
There's no punish.
That's pretty. So yeah, there is no huge punish at least. But even so, Clarabelle does get a good trade here. Inking heads held high, I don't like unless he already has a second heads held high in hand, because you want to have access to the combo. Eventually, even if you don't have it right now. Your welcome is pretty big as well. It's gonna it does do a similar tempo swing, but it's gonna get Baker more cards in hand, which you love. And this is the swinginess in the mirror. Like if you make one misstep and you guess like can stick a singer on board that just blasts a song that helps swing the tempo a bit, you can very easily claw back into a game that you were way behind in. So Baker's gonna get.
I think it's supposed to say earlier, as you mentioned with the bend, doing it that early and that premature, I will say, kind of gave Baker a chance to slowly claw back into this, especially given the amount of ink he had. And it's kind of weird to say, but the fact that he's not even punished and Baker's looking really healthy with his hand size right now is just because he was a little bit patient and he had drawn good tools from the top.
Yeah, like the top decks were very good on Baker's side, but you know, Ben can be a big you know, Ben can shut the door. Ben can shut the door in the mirror a lot of the time. However, you ideally have good control by the time you bend. That being said, you know, it's still anyone's game. We're going to see, now that Clarabelle's on board, we're going to see some extra hyper ramp with the Tipo and the Sail, which I like, to try to reduce your cards in hand that you've gotten your welcome, and just quest out. Unfortunately, though, this represents no answers, which is not where you want to be. This is part of why I like having Hades in the list, and I like it in the mirror. It just gives you more answer cards, which you desperately need in the mirror to make sure that your opponent's board is getting, you know, removed, and you're not just leaving them with singers that can completely wreck you.
There's some number of green-blue players that are not playing Hades.
Oh yeah, it's been a contention in the green-blue space. I think more lists at this point are agreeing to go on Hades. But from what I'm seeing, there's a chance. I haven't seen Jacob like show one yet, so I think and with how many cards he's drawn, there's a chance he's not on it, which I think is a big factor in the mirror.
Fair.
So are we going to see the combo? We are going to see the combo. I assume Baker probably had the second Household High, so I inked one. That's going to wipe this board clean. And that's the danger. If you aren't able to keep your opponent off of Singer 6, your board is liable to get deleted unless you're on no cards. So now Baker has full control of the game, gets to get a free discard. We'll get to draw up to equal at the end of the turn, regardless of anything that happens else. Like, he's got 2 Singers on board, and if Jacob does not find any answer cards, he could well be effectively locked out.
It's kind of crazy to see how, like, 2 decisions in this game have really set Jacob from a position of having way better cards to Lorcana Villain really popping off here and showing the ceiling of this deck.
I don't think the bend was too unreasonable.
More so the early Clarabelle quest. That was...
that was a big punish, absolutely, as well as the not bouncing the Clarabelle from Villain's Bath. I think that was the most critical error, for
Those
sure.
2 errors
were significant. But we're Jacob can still potentially claw back, as we saw Baker do, if he finds good answer cards. Like, develop a body and, like, play a song can potentially get you in a good position. Like, if he has a much known best here, for instance, on the Clarabelle, then you're threatening Singer 6 and can potentially...
I kind of like the interaction with the John Silver.
Against the battle, yeah.
Yeah, making it so you can't make him discard anymore.
Yeah, that's at least decent. So at this point, you're just hoping this John Silver can maybe stick and you can do your own combo. That's kind of where you're at this stage in the game. You need to set up your own combo to try to flip the board in your favor.
Number. You know what happens with that ink number.
Is it double 7? Oh, we got a Basil and a Basil.
Your favorite thing to do is drop multiple Basils together.
Now, unfortunately, the Basil can't quest, so you can't just easily get a free discard as well to maybe like get rid of a threat that way. But it feels really good when you like Basil a threat and then quest to discard.
And it's very funny to see like these deck lists because it kind of like almost feels like negative synergy in a lot of ways with all the Basils discarding people and Ben discarding people, but you want to refill their hands with Clarabelle, but it works so well.
It does.
You're doing it at different points of the game.
Yeah, it's just like once you go off Clarabelle, you feel perfectly fine just ripping your opponent down. As Baker
Another
is
thing
able
with
to
Jacob,
do.
where he did the bend, but then he ended up playing 2 Donalds, which essentially just refilled and undid the effect of that bend. Unfortunately, sometimes it's the only card you see, but it's where it can kind of sometimes negative impact you in those positions.
Absolutely, the Donald was definitely bending with a Donald out is definitely a bit of a gamble in the mirror if you're not really far ahead. So once again, Jacob Guest develops a Clarabelle. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any of his own answer cards like Basil or a Hades possibly. So he has to hope again that this Clarabelle sticks, and then he can hopefully try to swing the combo. Baker, if he doesn't have
Jacob's body language here, he's kind of like, all right.
Unfortunately, no answer card. So the other possibility to claw back in this game is getting to 14 ink, which sounds crazy, but if you get to 14 ink, you can hard cast the combo of Heads Held High Under the Sea and try to get there that way. Now we do get 2 random discards though, so even if he has the combo, like he can just get randomly picked up. He has a full hand. A second bend. Oh wow. Now bend is no good with Clarabelle on board anyway, so that really wasn't going to do too much. The Mother's Best is decent. But I get up on 2 bends. That's a bit greedy, but it's really effective in the mirror. So I kind of understand it firing off the first bend like he did from that perspective, because like he knows he could draw another one. However, he is not 14 ink. He's not in a position where he can hardcast the combo, and Baker gets game 1.
Yeah, not really felt the need to jump in too much here. Shout out to the lads for doing the commentary for this. So yeah, the early bend from them, the fact that they had 2 definitely makes it fine, even if he only had 1. If I was in his position, I would have played the bend on that turn. Like, I discarded 4 cards from that. That was absolutely huge. So I think that's disputable. The turn where he quested Clarabelle and I had the shift Baymax, I think that was one of the biggest turns in the game, and I was panicking, right? Because I never thought he was going to... You saw my body language at the time. I was readying my ink. I never expected a quest. And then he quested, and I knew I had 3 uninkables in my hands, so I had to draw ink off the top. If I'd have missed ink that turn and not been able to punish that quest with the Baymax shift, I would have been devastated. Luckily, I did find ink, so yeah, I think that turn was huge. And then, yeah, obviously I didn't know it at the time, but having now watched back this game, knowing that he had the Mother Knows Best earlier on, when he had the board and didn't play it on my went for the quest as opposed to singing and bouncing back my Clarabelle, who then was able to do quite a lot. I think that was another huge turn. But yeah, I was pretty happy with how I played this game. Let's continue.
Back from a bend. What a comeback.
That was a beautiful game. Honestly, Baker kept his composure despite having a horrible starting hand. He got an opportunity, he took it, and this is a very, very, very solidly well piloted match.
Absolutely. It kind of shows the KC double X-Sword nature of Donald as well, where it can really feel you, but in the mirror, it can potentially be a liability if your opponent gets too much good gas off it.
The Donald's definitely the line you go for when you're going for the Clarabelle, but not having that Clarabelle shift potential anymore kind of is rough. And then going for the bend when you had 7 ink rather than the Clarabelle is another tough bad.
If you could have like shifted song with that Clarabelle instead of questing with it, and then had the Donald on board, and then follow that up with the bend after drawing some cards like that, probably could have gotten them there, or at least been more likely to get there.
This is where like piloting becomes not to like knock anybody, but this is where the piloting becomes like a big indicator and factor, is knowing what lines you have to take and what cards are meant to synergize with each other, so you don't kind of counterplay yourself one way or another.
It's possible Giga didn't read the Baymax because it has been a little bit debated in the Lorcana community. I haven't been a Baymax guy. I'll fully recognize that.
Yeah, I agree. Baymax sucks.
You would
Sponsored by dogs players around the world.
But a lot of people are on it at this point, so it's something you have to respect. So we do have a so Giga's on the play in this game. He does unfortunately miss his 1-drop, which does matter. However, we only see a Bobby on Baker's side, which is a lot less running than the Clarabelle, of course. So, and there's potentially if he has like a double ramp line that missing the 1-drop is okay. We do not see that quite yet, but he could be double ramping next turn, which is always pretty strong in the mirror. Does Baker hit ramp? Hopefully. You want both blue players to hit ramp. Okay, he does. And with the Tipo, which is honestly, in a lot of situations, kind of better in the mirror than Sail is. A, it's a body thing in front of the C, but B, just emptying out your hand a bit more can be quite valuable to deny your opponent Clarabelle value. We are going to see the turn 3 Donald once again from Jacob while inking a Tipo. I might have liked to have seen him consider a double ramp line where he could have gone maybe, I don't know if he maybe topped like the Tipo though.
What just happened there?
Baker played out a Sail, so he's going for a double ramp line. We'll see if he has like a
Sail.
Yeah,
I thought he just played held high. How did that even happen?
That Sail is very shiny. I thought it looked like second star for a bit.
Yeah, that was very different. I am also like, when I see this line from this position, he doesn't do it obviously because he exerts 2 ink, but even a shift under the C isn't, it just like automatically wins you the game at this
point. Yeah, that would be pretty. Well, I mean, I don't know if it auto wins you the game just because it devotes a lot of resource when you shift Baymaxing under the C. You might be in a position where you don't have enough follow up. In any case, he's going for double ramp line, which is very strong in the mirror. Let's see if he follows up with the Pleekly. Let's see the Pleek. Quest.
Oh, that's a Pleekly move. Oh.
The Pleekly's coming. It's coming. Double ramp Pleek is
deciding who you like. Which child? That's the pick between children. All right, Bobby, you are the sacrifice.
There we go. Sorry, Bobby, but Tipo sings for a bit
Bobby
more.
Bobby Shmurda will be remembered.
Really strong line on the draw in the mirror and in general. Just getting up to 7 ink on the next turn. That's pretty much where you want to be on the draw, and why Pleekly, even though a lot of players are cutting him or looking at Donald instead, I know Jacob's on Donald, which I think is a valid choice, but this line is why I still think Pleekly has an argument. We do see the competing Donald line, the debate living out in real time between Donald and Pleekly on the ramp cards.
Questing there.
I think it's valid. I guess it's vulnerable with the Baymax, but maybe you don't care if he Baymaxes you realistically, and that's not what Baker likely wants to go for. We do see the Clarabelle, which is definitely a place you like being here. Getting to play it on turn 4. He's going to draw, I don't see how many cards. 1, 2.
Is it never a consideration to just take that trade to take out that Donald?
He didn't have to create it. Donald has 5 health, so it's only swing 2. And I definitely like developing a Clarabelle over any like Baymax shift if that was an option.
Fair.
So now we do. So Baker gets the Clarabelle tempo on turn 4 thanks to that Pleakley ramp. Of course, Jacob has the potential of singing to bounce Clarabelle. Unfortunately, he does not have his own Clarabelle, evidently. So he's instead going to Visions, which is not really what you'd like to do here. Now we do. Oh, that's his Visions hand. Okay, I was about to say like that hand looks really good, but like no, that's his Visions. So we do see quite a good few options like Bend and You're Welcome and Clarabelle. So that's pretty much like every card you could want in this spot, more or less. I think he took You're Welcome, which is quite a good
arguably
choice.
a bad thing because now you've lost a bunch of your good cards to the bottom of your deck.
Now he gets passed. I don't love that. I mean, you never really want to be passing here. Like,
Can you just broadcast You're Welcome and on the Clarabelle, even if you don't want to exert anything?
I think you do. Like, so the thing about the mirror is, especially when you're in this game state with like a lot of, when you're in what I would call a high resource game. At that point, and if you have access to Clarabelle, which I think he does, but he can't play it on this turn, of course. At that point, tempo matters more than a lot of things. So I probably would have like hard cast on the Clarabelle and then been able to perhaps like quest a Donald again. Get
the risk then is the Bend, right? If then.
But Ben's always a risk. Ben's always a risk regardless. So I guess
in these high resource games, yeah.
Yeah, like Ben still wrecks regardless. However, we are going to see Heads Held High Under the Sea. In essence, again, punished by not hardcasting You're Welcome on Clarabelle, because without it, that combo would not have been possible on that turn.
Goes to show like how important these early turns are and the setup being correct. Because if you don't have the right setup, you don't have your bringing it back to an Amber Steel kind of mirror match of having the singers in play, you're gonna be in a really tough spot. And I think this is a testament to letting Baker have the singers to do the thing.
Absolutely. Like, you need to deny your opponent as much singing power as possible in this matchup, or you can get your board gets removed too quickly for you to recover from. You see Clarabelle, I believe but unfortunately, because Baker emptied his hand very well last turn, there's not going to be much value on this Clarabelle.
Very rare you get to flood your hand out in this kind of deck with so much high end, but he had some 1-drops to...
Yeah, the 1-drops are surprisingly very useful in the mirror for that reason. We use the Hades to immediately answer the Clarabelle. You just want to deny your opponent's singer value. Now Baker's in the gyro seat in this game as opposed to the last one. And at this point, it's just a matter of keeping your opponent off of Singer 6 and questing, hopefully, for victory. He can extract more Clarabelle value, and he's doing so, getting to ramp with Tipo as well, which you love doing in this position in the mirror.
Is there a comeback line here, Quigley?
I don't think there is. I think that turn where Clarabelle got to live, like not getting that You're Welcome, into the combo, like it's like the only comeback potential is I see
a line here. I see a line here.
What's the line?
So, if he pulls the fire alarm and then all the cards get wet, technically speaking.
Oh my.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what we're showing here. Like, the game's done.
Yeah, this is that's important.
A lot of uninkable.
This mirror gust ended so explosively. Like, he can
it's
still
rare
play.
To see that.
He can play like the Basil maybe, but there isn't really any comeback line. Like, you can come back if you get to like turn if something like the only comeback I should say is like Singer 6 sticks. That's kind of the name of the mirror. Where you can develop a total of singing cost 6 and then find the combo and wipe your opponent's board. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have an option for that. There isn't an easy way, I think, to establish Singer 6. Like, unfortunately, the Gator will exert itself on play, so it doesn't really work in that role. I don't think he has an easy way to assemble that unless he has like John Sliver. Okay, I don't think he got on that. Oh no, this is a... Okay, he does have a Basil. So Basil bouncing the Clarabelle is big. And he has Under the Sea. I don't know if he found Heads Held High off that vision. I don't think he did. So it's a matter of if Basil can somehow stick and you get the combo, you can come back in the mirror that way. Does Baker have the answer for that? He does not. So Baker does not actually have an answer for this. Singer 6 is sticking. So if Jacob top decks heads held high, now granted, Baker's at 17 now, so it's still an uphill battle, but it's not impossible if he top decks.
I'm so mad. I know the length of this video right now. I am so mad.
I'm sorry.
I'm so mad. This is ruining this moment for me.
He does not, unfortunately, find the other half of the combo, and that is the match. Really,
I feel like it is still possible. Like if you do clear the board there's so much ways to lock out your opponent that it is a possibility.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Baker lost a lot of high quality cards there.
Absolutely. Like, and he had a bend in hand too. So if he gets the board wipe and Baker doesn't stick a Clarabelle, he can like potentially maybe sing and bend or just bend in general to keep heading cards.
Yeah.
Like that's the board. The matchup is so swingy if you can pull off the combo. It's never over. You're right. It's never over because one combo can just flip the game on its head, as it essentially did in both games, where Baker was able to find the combo, stick the singers, and as a result, win the game. In game 1, he was way behind, but was able to come back with it. In game 2, he was, ahead, and then was able to just completely run away with it because of that combo.
It was a masterclass, honestly. Masterclass on Baker's part, and honestly, even his opponent played very, 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 very well. Like, honestly, one slip up in any deck will punish you in this current meta, and that's just how it shapes up to be when everything's a 50-50 matchup. And the mirror is very, very interesting. Like, this was extremely entertaining to watch. Very swingy, very back and forth. At any point, anyone can steal the game from their opponent.
Yeah, like I've been shocked by like how fun the mirrors kind of are. The only unfun part of the mirror, I think, is exactly Bend, but Bend didn't even make the mirror unfun in that first game, surprisingly. And if nobody gets shut down,
Baker's not even on it.
Yeah, Baker's not even on it, which actually does surprise me a bit. But I understand to fit in the Baymax. But if Ben doesn't run away with a game, usually the mirrors can have some very good swingy moments, like we saw on display.
We recently saw somebody show us their list at Glass City. When they had a 4-bend list, and I was like, that's the grade they talk about in the Bible right there. That's the grade.
That's a wild list.
That's Judas grade right
there. There's a lot of very fascinating brewing in the green-blue world right now. So I'll say it's a very fun waters for set champs. If you want to have some fun, there's a lot of spice you can throw in there that's really interesting. There's a lot of room for experimentation. It's a great deck right now. All right, I think that's about all from us. So this has been Team Enter the Battlefield. You can find us on YouTube. You can find my Metafy guide for Green Blue at Pandemonium Heart at metafy.gg if you would like to learn more about this deck. My Twitter is at @GayQuickster, and Habibi, your socials?
At Lorcana Habibi, pretty much everywhere, or my government name, which is Elias Abdullahad. Please don't dox me.
Thank you so much, Lorcana Villain, for having us on. This has been a real treat. I believe Villain is now 2-1-1 after this win. So I don't know exactly how the rest of the tech camps play out, but it's a decent run, and hopefully he gets another win with this beautiful blue-green list.
Submarine bracket, let's go, Baker!
All right, have a good one, everybody. Take care.
And there we have it. A humongous shout out and thank you to Habibi and Pandemonium Heart. Habibi making his debut on the channel. I think he did an excellent job. Super grateful to him. And Pandemonium Heart made his debut a few weeks back. We did an interview on this deck, and he was very much my inspiration for running this deck. Again, a shout out to Sailor, who also gave me a lot of words of wisdom, but the list was basically Pandemonium's. But yeah, I thought this was an excellent casting. I hope you guys thought so as well. I feel like I learned a lot just watching back their casting of the match. But yeah, it went my way that time. Game 1, that Hades off the top after I got my hand discarded, that was obviously huge. And again, there were a couple of plays in that game where it very much could have gone the other way. The Clarabelle quest from him not playing Mother Knows Best on my Clarabelle. Thankfully, that one went my way, and then game 2, I think, again, I got quite lucky, but I'm very happy with how I played. A shout out to my opponent, who was wonderful. He will be linked down below. The socials for Pandemonium Heart and Habibi will also be linked down below. Do please go check them out. There's one more round of Swiss to come, and then we'll see if I make the top 8 and get my foil Maleficent Monstrous Dragon. But that's going to be it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you're brand new to the channel, please subscribe for all things Lorcana. Hit that like button to show your support, and we'll see you soon.